Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Women Are Worthy show. You guys asked for it, you have it. Well, we know what's going on with this COVID. Well, let me speak about myself first. I am so fearful to go into any stores, any restaurants, any businesses. I'm just nervous. So, guess what? There's a gentleman by the name who's on our show, Mr. RJ Patel. He has an amazing company. We're going to talk about this. So, for those of you that are paranoid with fear, paralyzed with fear, and into this whole conspiracy theory that you can't do anything, me, and I'm sure there's a lot others out there. So, I know I'm not the only one. So, you guys have asked for it. I said it over and over again. We want to welcome RJ Patel with PCT Disinfecting. I'm excited because I'm actually leaving my house, going into companies, businesses that this man has helped me. He's like my therapist because once I hear that his company has cleaned an organization or facility, I'm in there. So without further ado, we're honored to have Mr. RJ Patel with PCT Disinfecting. Hi, RJ.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for having me. And I will look for that check in the mail for the therapy sessions.
I just want to thank you because we have this thing with the mask, the no mask. You should stay home, and I'm going to tell you guys something. Go into his business, and I'm telling you, you can eat off the floor. When you walk in, it smells clean, and I'm not talking about clean like Clorox or those chemicals that you think you're going to sprout out with 3 heads, or if you see an ant, it's going to have 6 heads. No, it's basically it's that fresh, when they talk about Febreze, that fresh smell, his office just has that. So, RJ, can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing, why people like me are just clamoring and knocking down the doors that we need your service? Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're doing.
What we do, anybody can do. It's a matter of time, it's a matter of discipline. And if you don't have the time nor the discipline, then that's where we come in. And that's why we exist. We exist to help people. We exist to bring a peace of mind. And PCT Disinfecting is all about bringing peace of mind, whether it was COVID related or non COVID. Let's go back to the non COVID days. So, non COVID days, we used to clean for the health value, not just the appearance value. Now, those are two separate things. Just because it looks clean doesn't mean that it is germ and virus proof, because were the right methods used, were the right tools used, the right equipment used, were the people that came in, were they trained properly? All these things matter. So before our staff even gets in here, we did all that homework ahead of time. We partnered with Procter & Gamble, and we have 4 main products that we use from them. We can get all 4 that are green, as in earth friendly, and by the way, they exceed the government standard for green cleaning. We have one product, and I've lived in Georgia for 41 years, so to all your listeners, they probably can relate to this. The way the homes are built, the lack of airflow, stagnation, wherever water is, you're going to get mold and mildew. Not the stuff that brings harm to you, but the stuff that visually looks yucky. It gets under the caulking, it gets in between the tile grout, all that. So with the Georgia humidity, we have to have a comment with bleach. And so it's a liquid, non-abrasive. The abrasion comes from our sponges. We spray that on there, and the dwell time on that is 3 minutes. And what does dwell time mean? That's the new buzzword in our industry. Dwell time basically dwell means to live, and kill means to destroy. But the way it's used, it's the same thing. Dwell time, kill time. The amount of time it takes a product when it's on a particular surface, whether it's a desk, a countertop, kitchen countertop, a bathroom, whatever surface it is, if you read the back of the label, it will clearly state on there, the dwell time or kill time is X number of minutes. And if you want to effectively clean for the appearance and health, both, you have to allow that product to sit on that surface for that specified amount of time based on the products you're using. And then provide the agitation, as we call it. Agitation is scrubbing. And the agitation loosens everything, and then it destroys the viruses and the germs that are on those surfaces. Then you, of course, rinse it down, and it goes in the drain, and it's nice and clean.
I want people to understand you're not just doing hotels. So, someone who has a house, you can come in their own home, you can come in and do the deep cleaning. Is that correct?
Yes, we recently, our partner and we, between us, we have invested well over $70,000 in tools and equipment, and anywhere from electrostatic sprayers, different kinds, to we have a steam cleaner. A steam cleaner will destroy the germs in anywhere from 4 to 7 seconds. So, yes, we've done at least 25 between homes and offices or spaces, 25 COVID positive cases so far.
What made you wanted to do this and not just remain as just a person who's just cleaning homes or with the chemicals or whatever you were using before? What, because this to me, when I heard about it, I'm like, oh my God, this is forward thinking, and you've been that way anyway, but this is forward thinking. What made you decide to do this? Because it's expensive, over $70,000 in equipment.
Mhm.
And I agree, you have to invest in things. So this shows me one thing, RJ, that it's not just a business. You want people to live healthier lives. You want to prolong lives however you can. That's what this tells me.
Absolutely. And, to be candid, right, you can call company X, you can call company PCT. You can do just a monetary comparison. Most of the time, I can tell you they're going to be slightly cheaper. Now, let's look at the scope of work. If the scope of work matches apples to apples, Granny Smith to Granny Smith, then I guarantee you my value is much greater than what is out there. I have seen it. I have unfortunately had to go back and undo stuff. We're just very particular, Jackie, just very particular. We have been cleaning for health. I owned a hotel for 27 years. So I was cleaning at the hotel. This business is 18 years old. I've been cleaning for 41 years between my hotel and here. And this business industry, I'm very passionate about. It's about bringing a peace of mind to the people. That's what it's about.
Well, I can say this. A gym called me, which would remain nameless, and they said, hey, why don't you come get some free exercises? And I said, okay, how are you cleaning your gym? How are you sterilizing it? So they told me, well, we just have the young ladies and they get the wipes and they sanitize things down. And I said, that's all that you do? Because when I found out what you're doing, and I said, that's all that you're doing. And they're like, yeah, that's all we need to do. So I said, how are you protecting your clients when they come in for COVID? And that was a whole nother story. But I'm telling you, I was one who I didn't want to go into a business. I didn't want to go into a restaurant. And I'm telling you, I'm calling. Has RJ cleaned that business? I'm like, you're all, I promise you, all throughout Kennesaw, even doctor's offices, I'm doing that. Has RJ? And it's so great because I've gone into cleaning companies before. And the cleaning companies that I've gone into, RJ, they were a mess. Walking in, you needed to wear a handkerchief around your nose because the Clorox was so strong. And it was kind of, I don't want to say filthy, but it was not clean. And they're going out cleaning other people's place. And I have to say, I don't care what time of day or whatever, I want to walk into your office, speak to your front end person, and I want to talk about that as well. It's always clean. And I know you're like, well, Jackie, it should be. No, RJ, I've gone into other places where it's not like that. So to me, I'm like, great. And your staff is Your staff is like family. Usually when you go into a company, you hear the mumblings. You treat your staff like family. Your customer service is by far, you need to teach a customer service class to some of these businesses out here. I'm not trying to add more things to you. I'm just saying, you have enough on your plate. What can one feel other than what you're saying? And why should they contact you? I am telling them why they should, but you're the business owner. So you're on the other side. Why should they reach out to PCT Disinfecting?
Do you know what my sister-in-law said to me today, Asha's sister?
What?
She says she hired a national franchise. She lives in Arizona.
Okay.
And she said to me today over the phone, she said, RJ, you need to come over here and teach these companies how to clean. Cleaning is not a business for me. Cleaning is absolutely something I am enveloped around. You talk about my office here. Yes, you can walk in anytime. Okay. I want you to walk in anytime. And if you're a potential client, I want you to know and understand this is who we are. If you're a potential employee, I want to set the best and highest standard of what we expect of that employee. So at all times, everything has to be clean. Every night, my staff knows everybody wipes down their desks. And this is pre COVID. It's a way of life. It's not something COVID changed us to do. We've been doing this. I've been screaming at the top of my lungs, hey, we're essential. Now the world knows we're essential. That's the only difference.
So let's say President Trump is watching the show and he's like, I like that, RJ. And he wants to give you, let's say, $1 million. What would you do with that $1 million as it relates to your company?
See, it's already up here. I would start a training school right here in Cobb County. I would obviously talk to Cobb County government, this local governments, and see what's the best space we can get. I'm also part of the ISSA, which is the worldwide organization for the cleaning industry. There are close to, I believe, 12,000 members worldwide. And I serve on the national board because, again, I want to learn from the best. I want to know what the best are doing so I can bring that to our community here locally. I would go to them and say, we have this opportunity to take that million and turn it into multi-millions. I would have a cleaning school. President Trump, are you listening, sir?
I'm sending it to him. I'm sending it because right now he's in power. So that's what I want people to understand. There's a difference. And you made me realize this, not by sitting down and saying, Jackie, this is the reason. You made me realize the difference between a cleaning company and a company that wants to have environmentally safe people and where they're inhabiting. Oh, I'm using big words, but that's the difference because you have your cleaning companies, they're the run of the mills, no disrespect to them, but it doesn't make sense if you're going to hire a cleaning person or a company. And I'm trying to, explain this to you guys. Reach out and contact RJ. I posted his information because I'm telling you, I'm not saying you have to get rid of your cleaning people, but you
No.
need to see the difference because at least get a deep cleaning from RJ because I'm telling you, his stuff is amazing. I mean, RJ, I want you to chime in because I'm telling you, when I walk in, okay, let me tell you guys a little secret. Okay. Whenever I have masks all over the place, right? And as you guys can see, I'm African American. And they're talking about, African Americans are the ones who are being affected by COVID. When I go into RJ's, sometimes I forget I don't have my mask on because I'm telling you, it is so clean and his people and before you say, well, everybody looks clean. No, I'm talking about the minute you push through the door, it's like the world opens up and it's like you're in, Bounty or something. It's like so white, so clean aesthetically. So I just want people to know if you have a cleaning company, a cleaning service, I'm not asking you to get rid of them. But I am asking you for your health being, for the betterment of you, at least reach out to RJ and do a deep cleaning. That's what I'm suggesting that everyone, reaches out and actually do.
Earlier, you mentioned about the word chemicals, right?
Right.
Chemicals are no longer used in home cleaning, office cleaning. It's just a term that stuck. And over a period of time, Kentucky Fried Chicken changed its name to KFC because, sorry, but the F word or had a negative connotation during the 80s and 90s when the health revolution kicked in. So the word fried was not a good word. The word chemical, same thing. So what we call them are cleaning solutions. And without proper PPE, I don't want my staff to be around chemicals that are harmful to them. We have people that have been working for us 11 and 12 years. I don't want them over a period of time developing some kind of a health issue. I don't want to be around that stuff myself. Even though I'm not out there cleaning every day, I still protect my people. And we get their feedback about the products that we use. They're very happy. They're effective, they're safe, and it's Procter & Gamble. It's the Mr. Clean institutional line of cleaning. Hospitals and hotels use the same thing we use.
And what more can you say to that? Because the fact that you're using green cleaning solutions, see, I'm getting it. Green cleaning solutions. Like, I went into a business the other day, and the gentleman informed me that they had someone come in and fog up the office, and they're not sure if the roaches will have two heads, and they don't know what they're going to be subjected to. So, because of that, they're not wearing masks or gloves or anything like that. But when he said that, I'm like, oh my God, do I even want to be in here? Because if you're saying this about yourself that you don't know, like maybe you may deliver a baby, you may develop a uterus as a man. You know what I mean? Because he was making fun of it, but I can tell that he was really serious about that. And that's kind of sad. But to see that again, so for all my plant based, my vegan people, we can use him. It's green cleaning solutions. So we can use that. And almost because when I found out about what you were doing, my shoulders just relaxed a little. And then you said it's green cleaning solutions and it relaxed more. I don't need to relax anymore because I don't need to go to sleep. Okay. Oh, but how can they contact you? And I want some tips as well. So let's talk about how can they contact you?
RJ at PCT Disinfecting.com or 770-42 clean. That's the way they can reach me. Green cleaning has different levels of meanings.
Okay.
A lot of people think it has to be from plant-based oils and et cetera, et cetera. That's one way of cleaning. But again, I go back to what I said earlier, the lack of proper air circulation. Like in the bathroom, for example, how many exhaust fans are in bathrooms?
Right.
So it's a matter of construction. Is there a ceiling fan in that bathroom circulating the air after you're done? When you are done showering, are we all disciplined to squeegee the water from the walls and from the floor into the drain? If not, a lot of times the water just sits there. And that stagnant water will cause the mold and mildew over a period of time. So sometimes we have to use the Comet with the bleach to help defeat that. And the bleach is so mild. Matter of fact, yesterday we had some folks, as I mentioned to you, from the Atlanta rugby. And I opened the bottle and I put it right at her nose. And Peyton said, "Oh, I don't really smell anything." Exactly. It shouldn't overpower you. You shouldn't have fumes going up your nose. Things like that shouldn't be happening. If it does, that means it has an acid in it. And you want to stay away from that because that can be very irritating. Acid has its purpose, but not inside of your home where there's poor air circulation.
Well, in the past, I don't want anyone to slay me or to send me nasty emails because I know it's going to happen. So let's limit that. In the past, when I used to clean my bathroom, I would use Clorox, peroxide, Comet, and then I would see poof. And I'm like, that was in the past, RJ. That was in the past. And I'm sure there's other women that has happened to. And I'm like, wait a minute, am I being a scientist? And this is like, 8 years ago. And I'm like, what am I doing? So when you walk in the bathroom, it's nice and clean. But when I would see that poof, so I would continue to go to all the bathrooms, and I knew my bathroom wasn't clean until I saw a poof. And then I realized, Jackie, you're killing yourself. First of all,
Yeah,
the hairs in your nostrils. Lord knows what you're doing through your throat, your nose,
your
your heart.
lungs.
Who knows? So I've gotten better over time, but I'm like, I would pour it and I'm like, more. And I would cough and I'm like, poof. Okay, so my bathroom's not going to clean until I see poof. But I've learned my
So
lesson.
next time you're here, you will get a bottle of our Comet, and you will get a bottle of our Spick and Span, and some sponges, and you're going to start doing this correctly. Now, I do want to make a point.
Oh,
There
yeah.
are plenty of companies out there doing the cleaning. No, don't just go and make a switch to PCT. Talk to your company. Know what they're doing. Know what products they're using. You know, we're certified in HCT, house cleaning technicians. We have certifications for the electrostatic fogging. And our most recent certification came through the Global Biorisk Advisory Council on how to clean SARS and COVID. So
Wait. Stop. Don't just ramble through that. That's huge. Okay, guys, he's very humble, but I need him to bring it back a little. You are certified in what?
we are certified through GBAC for cleaning for SARS and COVID. Mhm.
That's huge.
Yep.
Huge.
So a lot of people say, well, if they haven't found a cure for COVID, how can you find a cure to clean it? Great question. Of course, we face these questions, right? So SARS is the reason for COVID. There is a way to kill SARS. So COVID does not happen. It's a prerequisite. The way they have taught us, and it's an online class right now, of course, and we got a certification, but it's really interesting the things they teach you about the load reduction, about how to go about the PPE. If it's a COVID positive, how we need to take care of our people in order to make sure that we take care of others. I'm not going to risk my people to take care of others. I got to take care of my people first, educate them, put them through these certification classes, and then send them out there. And I go with them so I know that we all understood the material in the same way.
So this now brings me to my next question. So because you've been certified in this, this helps you in your everyday life with COVID, where you don't have that paranoia, you don't have that the fear monger that the news media is giving us, where because think about it, the little time that I've spent around you regarding this, I feel like I can breathe. I'm okay. I'm not falling into the trap of the newspaper or on television, like, oh my God, everything I do, COVID, 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 COVID. So does that help you in your everyday life? And how does
Absolutely.
explain that to us a bit? Because I'm sure there's more people out there. Because RJ, what's going on is we have all this information and we're confused. I'm confused. And I've been in the medical field. I'm confused. And when I talk to you, I'm like, you sure he's not an infectious disease doctor? You sure he's not advising people that we don't know about? Because when the president was calling people out that these are our top people, I somehow thought you were going to be on there. You were going to be on that day as, talking about COVID. So explain a little
Well,
bit of that,
the
please.
White House called me and I missed the call, so they went on to the next person. So I couldn't help it.
Because you want to be
Um,
on the show. That's why.
you know, from the get go, right? Part of me was tested. I have what I call the five F's. Five F's: faith, family, friends, fun, and fitness. I kind of categorize as one, which for me it's football, the round football, and then the last one is finances. These are the things that make RJ up. So, and you can prioritize these five F's the way you want to. I put faith first. And so during this time, I chose to live in faith and not fear. That was one. Years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I stopped watching the news. I don't live under a rock. I am aware and conscious of what's going on, but I don't allow them to penetrate this to get into here and then to destroy this. I'm not going to let that happen. So that's one. Before washing hands was cool, I was washing my hands 10 to 15 times a day. Okay. I'm wiping down surfaces. Do you know that I wipe my car down every day? My staff calls me OCD. My kids used to call me OCD. I wipe down every touch point, steering wheel, the gear, the door handles, everything every day. And I've been doing this pre-COVID. So it's a matter of discipline for me. It's something that makes me feel good. And yes, I want a clean car. I'm in the business. You've seen my car. It's lettered with my name. How can I have a dirty car? So I live in faith, not fear. I practice everything they've been talking about recently. I did it before COVID. We clean for the health value versus the appearance value. The appearance value is secondary to the health value for us, but both happen. If you just do it for the appearance value, great. But if I come in with my ATP meter and do a 4-inch swab, we're going to know how clean that surface is the second they leave after they clean that.
Why did you decide to go into the cleaning business?
27 years of the hotel business. I was very good according to my guests. We had a 32-room hotel. Over the 27-year period, we had over 166,000 guests. And back in those days, I actually shut my hotel down in 2005. So that's all pre-Google timeframe, Google review world, all that. And so I used to put cards in the rooms and wanted to get feedback. How was your room? Da, 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 da. And the feedback we received was, I judged this property, your hotel, by the cover. I didn't have the best curb appeal because the place was built in the 50s. But inside my rooms, I gutted and created a brand new room. And people were ecstatic. You can build something nice, but you have to maintain it. And we knew how to do that. And we did it. I checked my rooms every day, whether it was rented to somebody or it remained vacant. I went in that room, make sure everything's okay. I didn't want a guest walking in, i.e. finding a dead fly on that desk or a moth or something or a piece of paper. That was my job to make sure it wasn't there. So I was already very ingrained in that sort of habit of keeping things clean, neat, organized. And I love people. I love to take care of people. I feel like I have this God's gift to be able to take care of people. And it's through cleaning, organizing. You should see my closet. White shirts, blue shirts, darker blue, gray. Hey, it is what it is.